please stop coming here, thank you. A house is where you come in and you just kind of throw your stuff. And a home is someplace that you feel, oh, hi, come on in. Love and loved. Well, the house is a little bit messy. I am a bit of a neat freak. Actually, I spent like 9 hours cleaning so that I could trick you into thinking that I was the cleanest human being on the planet. I think I spend a little bit too much time cleaning. To be perfectly honest, I have a lot of OCD tendencies. I want to clean it up before me, actually. But it helps me feel calm to live in an environment that I know that I put time and effort into. Welcome to my apartment tour. Come on in. Welcome to my entryway. This I've kind of designed in a way that I can keep all of my important things here. I can keep my keys here, my dog's leash here. I have this awesome little mirror that I think I bought probably 10 years ago at a Goodwill. It's beautiful and it's great for just, checking my teeth before I'm walking out the door. And then kind of off of the entryway here, I have this little gallery wall, and there are a couple of really special items on here. I have this cuckoo clock, which hung in my late grandparents' house that I inherited after my grandmother passed away. And then over here, I have this piece, which we found at a Goodwill, but we actually used it for a short film that we made. And then of course I have a little coat rack here so I can grab whatever I need while I'm headed out the door. And over here, a great little seat for whatever bag I'm using, and then also to put my shoes on. I do have a strict no shoes in the house policy, but I am wearing shoes today, but it's because I've actually never worn them outside, so. And then once you kind of walk through the entryway, I have this awesome dresser here, which is actually just a cheap little IKEA dresser. I really hated how plain and boring it was, so I went to a couple of different places and picked up just random drawer knobs to kind of spice it up a little bit, and it feels more like me. It's a little mismatchy and stuff. And of course I have my handy dandy alarm system, which makes me feel very safe at night. But then above this, I have one of my favorite things. It is a really, really, really heavy mirror, and if you've ever helped me move, I am so sorry because I know this was the biggest pain in the ass. But it's a great mirror, and luckily my dad is a contractor, so he's been able to get it up on the wall very safely for me because we live in California and we have earthquakes all the time. Living by myself is much different than living with either a roommate or a partner, in that I have control over my environment 100% of the time. Well, like 97% of the time because of all my furry little roommates. And this here is my old girl, Indio. She just turned 13 in September. She's one of the little fuzzy zoo members you will see running around my tiny little apartment. Since we're introducing all of the little nuggets in the house, this is Papa's. I think this is the one animal that the internet is most familiar with. And this grumpy little man under here is Toy. He just turned 4 in July, and he is our resident grump and troublemaker. He's very needy. And then over here I have my little dining area and my little wine table. Both of these pieces are actually extraordinarily special to me. These chairs and this table have been in my mother's family for years and years and years. It was passed down to me. They are in terrible shape, as you can tell. But once I'm able to purchase a house, I'm looking forward to having a garage or a shop area where I can restore a lot of the pieces that you're gonna see that are kind of around my house. And this piece over here is something that my dad actually made for me. You can hang all of your stemmed wine glasses, and you can put all of your extra bottles of wine here. And then I have a couple of my favorite horoscope books, which I know some of you find extraordinarily annoying. But I love them.
What is the face you're doing? What is that? Are you flirting with these people? They don't want it. What are you doing?
And this is my kitchen, which is the biggest and brightest kitchen that I have had in any apartment that I've lived in LA. And it's been great because it has encouraged me to cook a little bit more than I typically did. A little bit more. Not much, but a little bit. But it's just nice to feel like I have enough counter space to actually prepare stuff. And I finally have another gas stove, which living without a gas stove was not fun. And then back here is my most favorite part of the apartment, and it is my washer and dryer. If you're not from LA or a big city, it might seem really silly to be excited about having an in-house washer and dryer, but there is nothing more frustrating than having to take your clothes either down to the basement or to the garage that's dirty and gross, or across town to a laundromat. So I feel like I'm finally actually a grown-up now that I have a washer and dryer. in my apartment. I think that my favorite part about my apartment is all of the little pops of color that are throughout my home. There's a lot of yellow and corals and teals. Growing up, my great-grandparents had this beautiful house on Lake Comanche, and every room was a different color. I really attached to that, so I find myself wanting to put pops of color in every room since I can't necessarily paint because I'm still renting. I like to find little ways to kind of emulate that house, which I have so many fond memories in. It's really important to have a home that I am not only comfortable in, but that I want to come home to. I am such an introvert and such a homebody that any spare time that I have is spent either cleaning or making my house just feel more homey. I want to feel proud every time I bring guests into my house as well. I'm at my happiest when I know where everything is and when I can walk in and just be like, yeah, this home reflects who I am on the inside. Now we're moving into my living room, and this is the first grown-up couch that I have ever owned that wasn't purchased from IKEA. And it is another one of those things that has made me feel like I've actually grown up because I have a couch that didn't come in 9,000 pieces that I had to put together at 2 in the morning. Over here, I have another one of my favorite pieces. So this mantle did not come with the apartment. This is another piece that my dad made for me. I've always missed having a fireplace, and in LA, there's really not a lot of places that actually have fireplace. I feel like it really ties a living room together to have a centerpiece like this. Recently, I painted it from a salmon coral color to this really fun yellow that just makes me really happy. But this is, again, just such a special piece to me because my dad made it. And then behind you, I have this trunk, which I love, but I think this is gonna be my next DIY project. I am starting to really hate the color of it. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to be painting it, I'm thinking a navy blue, and then all of the metal work I'm going to go over with a gold. And moving back over here, I have another piece that is in terrible shape, but it's important to me because it's been in my family for a long time. It desperately needs to be refinished, and once I am able to purchase a house, it's on the top of my list because it's a really great sturdy bookshelf, but I've seen better days. It's really important for me to be proud of my space, I think because my parents, they put such big importance on the house that I grew up in. My dad is a contractor and my mother worked in interior design until the market crashed in 2008, but she still continues to make her house this place where you walk in and it's just wow. So for me, it's always been important to carry that, to do what my parents did in making their home not only comfortable, but beautiful. And moving forward from the living room, I have a great little closet here, which I keep all of my coats in, and then an amazing linen closet, which again, probably seems silly, but if you've ever lived in an apartment where there's no storage, these things are just, makes a huge difference. And then this is my tiny little bathroom, which I'm pretty happy with. I ended up installing some really great clear shelves here to house a lot of the products that I use every day. And then I have just, a little tiny bathtub, which one day I'm looking forward to having a really big bathtub. I'm kind of a bathtub whore. One day I'll have a nice one. Not today.
You call yourself a bathtub whore? I'm a bathtub whore.
And from here, we're gonna move on over to where I sleep. And so this room, I feel like definitely is the plainest of all of the rooms in my house, but that's done on purpose because I feel like there shouldn't be a lot of distractions in here. I refuse to put a TV in here. Once in a while, I will watch shows on my laptop, but for the most part, I like to keep the bedroom as a place where you recharge and relax so that the second I get into bed, my body's like, okay, hey, we're in the place that we're gonna sleep. And there's another special piece in here, which is this dresser, which is, again, not in the best shape, and I'm really looking forward to being able to refinish one day, but it's another piece that has been in my family for years and years and years. And then there are a couple of knickknacks here. This mirror here belonged to my great-grandmother, and this matryoshki, I'm only half Russian, belonged to my grandmother, and then this really weird little devil statue also belonged to my grandmother. And then I have this statue of India, which is one of my favorite presents that I've ever gotten, and I got it last Christmas from Jamie. This painting belonged to my late grandfather on my mother's side as well, and it's another one of my favorite pieces in the house. But yeah, this is where I sleep. And now we're gonna move on to the last room in the house, which is my studio. And that is located right here. This room is so convenient. On a really good day, I get to call myself a voiceover actress. I am able to do all of my voiceover auditions, and I can actually work from here whenever I've booked anything. I have this great little corner set up with my mic and a little bit of sound foam. And I also am able to film self-tapes for myself and any of my friends that need it. We have these awesome backdrops here. This space has been so helpful. Just knowing that there is a space that I don't really have to work too hard to be able to get to work. Like, it's so nice to be able to walk in here and know that everything I need is in here. I love this room so much. Some of my favorite pieces in this room is this avocado file cabinet, and I actually tried to decorate around this piece. My Hello Kitty sewing machine. I think everybody knows I'm kind of obsessed with Hello Kitty. And then the other thing is a film camera that my dad gave me. Another really special piece in here is this poster, which is from a film that we made called Don't Knock the Hustle. Actually won Best Film. But yeah, this is my studio, and this is where I work and have clients come to do self-tape auditions. I think the most uncomfortable that I've been in apartments or homes are ones that you can definitely tell that they're not planning on being in for a long time, so they don't put any effort into personalizing it. It just makes me sad that there's nothing that reflects the person that spends most of their time there. Because we go out into the world every day and we don't necessarily fit into our surroundings. But I think always having a place that you can come to that reflects you is really calming and comforting. So I think even if you are just renting, maybe you don't plan on being in that place for a while, I think it is important to take a couple of hours just to set things up in a way that makes you realize that this is your home base and this is where you can come to rest and to be grounded. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about where I purchased anything, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit the like button and feel free to subscribe if you want to see what I'm gonna make in the future. Thanks so much. Bye. Say bye. You're not having it, huh?